differs, to be fair, from a lot of music festivals because of the fans. You know, it's one of those events that the fans make it. The music and everything else that goes with it is part and parcel. But I think because as a family, we enjoy the music as much as anybody does. You know, we're massive fans of metal and hard rock, and you know we enjoy the weekend probably more than anybody else, probably more than we should. You know, we don't lock ourselves away in an office somewhere that no one sees us. You know, we're on site early in the morning till early the following morning, all of us, and you know, just get out there and get amongst it. You know, we want to feel what the fans feel. You know, we walk the site, we meet the fans, we meet the bands, we meet everybody basically, and you know, we're no different than anybody else. We're exactly the same. We just do a job. You know, and look, we're lucky enough that the job that we do is also a huge passion. So I think that kind of, people feel it. You know, they feel the love, they feel what we feel, and I think that kind of separates Bloodstock from a lot of other events, makes it far more personal. Many years ago, when I was a little person, my dad, and he still is to this day, is quite an accomplished artist. Not a artist, but a painting artist. And he's done album covers for Saxon, Molly Hatchet, Uriah Heep, Dio, to name a few, amongst lots of other bands. And also has a great series of Lord of the Rings paintings. And when he was in his office in his studio painting these at the house when we were growing up, you know, he would always have on rock and metal music and you know, really sort of passionate, loud music. And growing up with that, you kind of become indoctrinated with it to a degree. You know, and I would rather now probably listen to that kind of music than I would anything else. You know, it's just got such power. Back in 2000, my dad and some friends, his partner at the time, a chap called Vince Brotheridge, were drinking with a few other friends at a pub in Derby, and just at that point reminiscing about the fact there was nowhere really to go to listen to metal music or rock music, which was obviously a passion of everybody around the table. You know, Download at that time didn't exist. That didn't come back till around 2003, I think. Monsters of Rock at that point, you know, that had gone, that had finished, and it was what to do next. And one of his friends suggested that why not start a festival, and they were sitting, funnily enough, not too far away from the assembly rooms in Derby. Popped across and just booked the venue without a clue what we were doing or what they were doing. And you know, Bloodstock at that point was born. It was just literally an idea in a pub. So if you're in a pub and you have a great idea, go and do it, because the chances are you might be onto something. Being a huge fan of rock and metal, people tend to think that that's all I listen to, and I've got, you know, no other joys in life, I guess. But with me, you know, I've got a little bit of a guilty pleasure for kind of power ballads. You know, I love strong, good power ballads. You know, you talk about your Guns N' Roses, Aerosmiths, from the sort of the rock metal world. You go off to sort of the Bryan Adams from the rock world, and then, you know, you go to your more sort of, I suppose, accepted music. I say accepted, that's wrong, but I suppose more popular music for the masses, which would tend to be, you know, Celine Dion and Whitney Houston and you know, sort of voices like that, really. Michael Bolton from the sort of the country side of things. You know, these singers and artists have got raw power in the voice. You know, it's not auto-tuned, it's from them, you know, it's from their throats, from their mouths, from their guts. And I think that to me is a little bit of a guilty pleasure I tend to enjoy and indulge in. And again, when the time's right, you know, sometimes you don't want to listen to that, but when you're in a mood for something a bit different, you know, that's what you want to listen to. A friend of mine listens to a lot of dance music, you know, and I was with him a few weeks ago, and I did actually say to him at that point, how do you know when one song's finished and another one starts? Because they're all the same. You know, other than press play and repeat the same words millions of times in the song, they don't tend to, for me, they don't tend to do anything more than that. Sorry if anybody that does offend anybody, but I think with rock and with metal and a lot of the power ballads, because it's so much from the heart, and it's just nothing that raw talent is raw, and I think that's where the passion comes from. Is that raw power. Anybody in today's world who wants to get into music, it's a tough industry to break into. I won't pull any punches, but it's probably one of the most rewarding industries to break into. If you want to get involved with music in somehow, do it. Whether that's from a singing perspective, give it a go. You don't know. If you want to work backstage, if you want to work, front of house, if you anything, whether it's recording, whether it's producing, whatever it is, get involved. It's passionate, it's fun, it's upbeat in the main. You're listening, you're getting involved with something that effectively is passion for a lot of people. So, don't shy away from it. And worst case scenario is what? You don't get into the music industry. Then you go and do what you were going to do anyway. Best case scenario is you get into the music industry and you just have a life of enjoyment and fun and passion. It's hard work. I'll never say it's not. But it's hard work that you can enjoy, and you can sit back afterwards and relish in the results of what you've done. Back in the early days, 2005, 2006, we had some pretty horrid weather. It was just when the festival was, and at that time it was the first second outdoor festival. And there was a band playing on stage, and all of a sudden, out of the blue, lightning bolt hit the stage, and you can imagine the sparks and the flash and everything else. And after a second or two of utter silence, the crowd just erupted in this raucous roar, as if it was part of the show, screaming, "Do it again, do it again! If only we could." But yeah, that was kind of bold and interesting, I guess, and it was. To laugh at it afterwards was something to do, but at the time it was pretty scary. But there's been lots of incidents, but that to me one of the standout ones. Whether it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Thursday, whatever it is, if I tend to walk up on the stage. And from the back, I don't stand up on the front of the stage. No one's going to be interested in seeing me do that. But from the back of the stage, we take an overview of what we have and how many people are there and who's enjoying themselves and the general feel and vibe from the crowd. And to sort of be there with the rest of the team, I can't help but smile profusely and have such a big grin on my face. The fact that I've been part of something that a lot of people have worked, so hard on throughout the year and over the course of that build week and the break week, putting this all together for the fans. So to see them arrive and, come and enjoy the weekend that we've helped to curate for them is, to me, probably one of the best feelings anybody who sort of puts on a festival or any kind of show really can have, when you've got that. I don't want to say success, I want to say just feeling of camaraderie. Everyone's there for the fact that you've done something as a team that they're going to just take away so many great memories from. And that's what putting on a festival is about. It's not about just putting on bands and fans come and they go and you do it again the following year. It's very much around creating memories and creating experiences. You hear, and I've been out there many times where I've spoke about, remember when we went to such and such, remember when we went to this show. And to be part of that memory creation that we're able to do is so heartwarming. That this, we're creating memories that are going to go on for a lifetime, and maybe would be stories that I guess other people would tell their kids. When I was a kid, I went to such and such, or when I was 35, I went with all my mates down to Bloodstock, and we did this happened that weekend, and this band played. It was fantastic, and we saw such and such. To be able to be part of that, I think is something remarkable, and I'm just grateful and thankful for every day that I get to be part of it. For me, there's a love that